Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. We are doing the Moon Compatibility series and examining the nakshatras and the characteristics of their intimacy. Now we come to Punarvasu Nakshatra. We just finished Ardra Nakshatra. Now let's do Punarvasu Nakshatra in Gemini because Punarvasu Nakshatra has three padas in Gemini and the last one, exalted Cancer, in Cancer. So it becomes different if you put the moon sign in different padas. Okay, be careful of that. Now, we examine a moon in Gemini, as you can see, number one, and moon's compatibility, moon sign of a man or a woman's compatibility with the moon sign and the nakshatra of others. Okay. So, if the moon of the man or a woman is in Punarvasu Nakshatra, first of all, it is compatible, obviously, with Punarvasu Nakshatra. But next level of compatibility, as you can see there, is with Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni in the third place from Gemini, which is Leo. Right? That's the first level of compatibility. Now, if you want to match, to recap, Devgana, you should always match with the Manusha Gana, not with Rakshasa Gana. Punarvasu is a Devgana. Be careful of that always. Okay, the first level is Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni in Leo, third place from Gemini. Also, the next level of compatibility would be in the sign of Virgo, which is fourth place from Gemini, as marked there. So the fourth place, it will be compatible best with Hasta Nakshatra, Punarvasu Nakshatra, man or woman, and Hasta Nakshatra, man or woman, moon sign. Okay, this will be compatible. That is Punarvasu Nakshatra in Gemini and Hasta Nakshatra in Virgo. That's the best level of compatibility. Devgana to Devgana is very good compatibility. Also, another one would be Uttara Phalguni, also within Virgo, the padas within Virgo. That's also not bad. Devgana to Manushagana is also fine. Next one, we have the seventh sign from Gemini, okay, which is Sagittarius, as you can see, opposite to Gemini. And the moon sign should be in Uttara Ashadha or Purva Ashadha, not Mula Nakshatra. Mula Nakshatra is Rakshasana. So Uttara Ashadha, Purva Ashadha with Punarvasu Nakshatra is also compatible moon signs. The next one on that compatibility is 10th place from Gemini, which happens to be Pisces. And in that, the moon compatibility best is in Revati Nakshatra. Why? Because it is Devana to Devana, right? Uttara Bhadrapada and Purva Bhadrapada would come next in the line. That way, interpreted that way. That's also good, but not full points. You see, it's like the whole point system is like that. It's like a scale of gray. It's not necessarily black or white. Black or white would be Devana Rashtarana. So, last level of compatibility of the moon sign is man or woman's moon in Punarvasu Nakshatra and a man or a woman's moon in the 11th sign from Gemini, which happens to be Aries in Ashwini Nakshatra. Ashwini is also Devgana. So Devgana compatibility is right there. Remember, this is one of the 8 types of compatibility criteria I'm taking here, right? It's not all kinds of things, right? There are other 8 forms which we are not considering for the purposes of this. Why? Because we are considering criteria isolated way only for lasting love. This is the Bhakut principle. So Ashwini Nakshatra, right? And next level would be even Bharani, because Bharani is also the Manushagana, but it's fine. First, we always try to match the best possible combinations, right? Okay, so now let us see what are the intimacy characteristics that Punarvasu brings to the table. Because every nakshatra has its own signature, which it views as this is how I feel intimacy, right? Each nakshatra views certain ways. Let's see what Punarvasu brings. So there you have it on the screen, right? Punarvasu's intimacy characteristics for our lovers in the bubble over there. Sorry, throat today. Characteristics of intimacy: nurturing and supportive. The Punarvasu Nakshatra prioritizes emotional well-being of their partners and are dedicated to creating a safe space and caring environment. Isn't that wonderful? Every nakshatra has something like this. Nurturing and supportive is their signature. They love to nurture their home environment. They love to nurture the emotional needs of the partner. Next one, they are adaptive and flexible. They can easily adjust to different situations and are willing to accommodate the needs and preferences of their partners. They are very accommodating when it comes to their partners. They're very adaptive. Gemini gives them that signature of adaptability. Gemini is very adaptive air sign. Curiosity and intellect is the third one. They appreciate partners who can engage in meaningful conversations and exchange ideas and explore intellectual pursuits. Once again, we see the Gemini side of intimacy. This is how Gemini feels intimacy. The Mithuna Lagna, as they say. They appreciate partners who can engage in meaningful conversations. If you want deep intellectual conversations, Punarvasu is a nakshatra for you because they will be interested in that. Emotional sensitivity is the fourth one. They have the ability to understand and resonate with their partner's emotions, providing comfort and support when needed. They're emotionally sensitive people. Even though it's an air sign, you've got to understand air has got a higher level of emotional sensitivity than even the earth sign or the fire sign. Only higher than air sign would be water signs. Obviously, they are moksha signs. We shall see that when we come to different nakshatras in different signs. They have a desire for stability. They seek partners who can provide a sense of emotional stability and consistency. Why? Because it's an air sign. It's moving around a lot. They're looking for something concrete, right? This is why they desire stability, emotional stability and grounding. They have strong family values, the fifth one. They appreciate partners who can share similar values and prioritize familial bonds. They like family a lot. My sister is Punarvasu Nakshatra, so I know how strongly she is familial. Family values matter a lot to the Punarvasu Nakshatra. They are not unorthodox in this, they are quite orthodox in this respect. Punarvasu is also the nakshatra of Lord Rama, for example. Very family oriented. He sacrificed everything for his family. They appreciate partners who share similar values. Communication skills. They are able to express their thoughts and emotions effectively, fostering open and honest communication in their relationships. Once again, there is the Gemini side. Gemini is all about communication. Third house is all about communication. Air sign is all about communication. Highest in Gemini. Therefore, even their intimacy, they perceive more in terms of communication aspects. You need to communicate to the Punarvasu. You need to talk to them. You need to let them talk to you. Bonding in terms of communication is important for the Gemini nakshatras. Just in general principle, just remember that. They are intuitive and insightful. They can perceive subtle cues and have a deep understanding of their partner's needs and desires. Very intuitive people. They will know if you are bullshitting around, right? They know they are insightful. They have subtle cues. They can read your body language. They can read your eyes. They can read your mind. They can feel the energies. So it's highly intuitive. So when it comes to intimacy, you need to be transparent with the Punarvasu. That's what matters. Then it will have a more lasting impact. Then it will have a more bonding impact. What are we saying when we are saying intimacy? Seriously, what are we looking at? We are looking at emotional bonding, which has got a principle of lastingness about it. It is lasting through life, not just 1 or 2 or 7 or 10 years. You want a lasting lifetime of emotional bonding. That's the principle we are looking at now in all these series. Okay. We shall do the next one in the next video. Meanwhile, take care, be safe. So the Libra moon in Vishakha Nakshatra compatibility is as indicated on the screen. So the Libra moon, if the moon of man or woman is in Vishakha Nakshatra, not necessarily the ascendant, be careful, I just marked it for convenience of understanding here. It can be ascendant, but it can be otherwise also. So, man or a woman's moon in Vishakha Nakshatra is compatible in the third sign from Libra, which happens to be Sagittarius, in Mula Nakshatra, because both are Rakshasa Ganas. Again, at the cost of repeating myself, don't match Dev Ganas or Rakshasa Ganas together. Okay? Manushya Ganas can be compatible, but kind of halfway through. We're looking for the best match. Yes, best match possible. So, best match for Vishakha Nakshatra, the first level, is Mula Nakshatra, which is the third sign of Sagittarius from number 7 Libra. The next compatibility for Vishakha moon in a man or a woman's chart would be Dhanishta Nakshatra, the fourth sign from Libra, which happens to be Capricorn. Dhanishta falling within Capricorn. Mind you, not Dhanishta falling within Aquarius. Dhanishta is a split nakshatra. So be careful about how you match this. I'm talking about Dhanishta Nakshatra, which falls in Capricorn only. Check out the Navamsha and other series for more understanding. Check out the videos on Nakshatra series in the Nakshatra playlist, where I have explained the Pada, the steps business of Vedic astrology. The third level of compatibility for Vishakha Nakshatra moon, man or a woman, will be Kritika Nakshatra in the opposite sign of Aries. Again, Kritika Nakshatra falling within the sign of Aries. Kritika also goes into Taurus. The dominating part of Kritika is in Taurus, actually. I think only the first pada of Kritika is in Aries, the last three are in Taurus. But nevertheless, be careful of the padas when matching the moon sign as per Vedic astrology. And we are talking about what here? We are talking about lasting relationships. The ones that last, not just during a one night stand or a relationship for 2 years. No, we're talking about a lifetime. The next level of compatibility for Vishakha moon would be in the 10th sign from Libra, which happens to be Cancer, and the moon should be in Ashlesha Nakshatra. Again, I'm matching only Rakshasa Ganas to Rakshasa Ganas, as you can see. That would be the next level of compatibility. The last one would be the 11th sign from Libra, Vishakha moon and man or woman's chart, going with Leo in Magha Nakshatra, which is in the 11th sign of Leo. From Libra, counting 11 would be Leo. Yes? So make sure when you're matching, especially for nakshatras which are split like Dhanishta, that it is falling in the respective sign like Capricorn or Aquarius. Even same principle applies for Mrikshisha, same principle applies for Chitra Nakshatra also. Okay? But without understanding what Vishakha Nakshatra really likes, doesn't matter whom you have married, if you're in a relationship right now, you need to know what their association with the aspects of intimacy really are. Okay, let's see that. So, Vishakha Nakshatra, characteristics of intimacy. Everything has to do with the themes of Vishakha, which is to bind a relationship, to look for a commonality of purpose, even within their intimate relationship, even within their career, even through their life. Vishakha moon looks for these characteristics. Problem is a problem of choices for Vishakha. If you have too many choices, what do I select? That's the challenge Vishakha is looking to solve this life. Characteristics of intimacy. They're determined and ambitious. They have clear goals and aspirations and work hard to achieve them. Expecting the same level of dedication from their partners, they have a knack for solving problems and conflicts in their relationship. See there? They are resourceful and find innovative solutions to challenges that arise. Right there is the basic theme of Vishaka, like I said. To unify seemingly opposing or not really opposing as in opposing like this. In divergent is a better word. Divergent forces. One is going north, one is going southwest, kind of. Not north and south clashing. Not like that. It's symbolized by a branch of a tree. Vishakha. One of the symbols of Vishakha Nakshatra is the tree branching out, right? One is going in different directions. But Vishakha is the unifying point of that. Okay? Balanced and fair. They have a strong sense of justice and fairness. Libra at its best. Scales, balancing the scales. Again, if you want to look at the scales aspect of Libra in Vishakha, it would be the scales are there, two sides of the scales are there. The unifying part of the scale is the branch which connects the two scales itself. That's Vishakha. So they strive for balance and in their relationships and seek partners who can support their journey of self improvement and self discovery, evolving through life. They love to evolve with their partners. This is very least understood aspect of Vishakha Nakshatra Moon. If you're in a relationship, they are looking to evolve through you because they are trying to take you into their picture, into their emotional, mental issues that they are trying to solve through life. They are charismatic and magnetic. Nice, right? They have a natural charisma and magnetic presence. They attract others with their charm and are often seen as influential figures in relationships. They invest deeply in their relationships and may seek partners who can match their level of intensity and commitment. I guess the last two words symbolize Vishakha in a relationship intensity and commitment. Because right there in the picture, you can see it's Mars and Venus and Jupiter. Think of these three planets in terms of connection, emotional bonding. They're powerful movers, right? The Guna is Sattva and Tattva is fire. So they are highly intense in their approach, even in relationships. They are social and friendly. Okay. They enjoy being around people. They have social connections. They have a wide circle of friends, acquaintances, and value social connections in their relationship. This is the social world. They love to have their parties. They love to have, couples coming over, drinks and wine and dine kind of thing. They love to hang out with people. So if you're in a relationship with a man or woman like that, and if they're craving for social companionship, engagement on a social level with other couples, friends, and so on, encourage it because they love it. They enjoy exploring new experiences with their partners and may seek excitement and variety in their love life. Trying out new positions, kind of. Variety. They seek variety. Libra is an air sign. It seeks variety at all costs. They love to explore. Libra is an explorative kind of energy, very active. They seek, they are communicative and expressive. They are articulate and expressive and able to convey their thoughts and emotions effectively to their partners. Clear communicators. They don't mince words. Once they establish a deep connection with their partners, they remain dedicated and faithful. So if you are faithfulness means a lot to Libra because they're trying to hold the relationship. Remember what I spoke about, the unifying aspect of the branches of a tree. So they're trying to reach there. The energy of Vishakha is to move towards a unifying point, to move towards the one which balances the scales, not to go to this side of the scale or that side. Balancing is Libra. So these are That's a Vishakha Nakshatra. We shall talk about the next one next. Meanwhile, take care, be safe. Love your Vishakha person. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. We are doing the moon compatibility series and examining the nakshatras and the characteristics of their intimacy. Now we come to Punarvasu Nakshatra. We just finished Ardra Nakshatra. Now let's do Punarvasu Nakshatra in Gemini, because Punarvasu Nakshatra has three padas in Gemini and the last one exalted Cancer in Cancer. So it becomes different if you put the moon sign in different padas. Okay, be careful of that. Now we examine a moon in Gemini, as you can see, number one, and moon's compatibility, moon sign of a man or a woman's compatibility with the moon sign and the nakshatra of others. Okay. So if the moon of the man or a woman is in Punarvasu Nakshatra, first of all, it is compatible obviously with Punarvasu Nakshatra, but next level of compatibility, as you can see there, is with Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni in the third place from Gemini, which is Leo. Right? That's the first level of compatibility. Now, if you want to match, to recap, Devgana, you should always match with the Manushagana, not with Rakshasagana. Punarvasu is a Devgana. Be careful of that always. Okay, the first level is Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni in Leo, third place from Gemini. Also, the next level of compatibility would be in the sign of Virgo, which is fourth place from Gemini, as marked there. So the fourth place, it will be compatible best with Hasta Nakshatra, Punarvasu Nakshatra, man or woman, and Hasta Nakshatra, man or woman, moon sign. Okay, this will be compatible. That is Punarvasu Nakshatra in Gemini and Hasta Nakshatra in Virgo. That's the best level of compatibility. Devgana to Devgana is very good compatibility. Also, another one would be Uttara Phalguni, also within Virgo, the padas within Virgo. That's also not bad. Devgana to Manushagana is also fine. Next one, we have the seventh sign from Gemini, okay, which is Sagittarius, as you can see, opposite to Gemini. And the moon sign should be in Uttara Ashadha or Purva Ashadha, not Mula Nakshatra. Mula Nakshatra is Rakshasagana. So Uttara Ashadha, Purva Ashadha with Punarvasu Nakshatra is also compatible moon signs. The next one on our compatibility is 10th place from Gemini, which happens to be Pisces. And in that, the moon compatibility best is in Revati Nakshatra. Why? Because it is Devana to Devana, right? Uttara Bhadrapada and Purva Bhadrapada would come next in the line. That way, interpreted that way. That's also good, but not full points. You see, it's like all the point system is like that. It's like a scale of gray. It's not necessarily black or white. Black or white would be Devana Rakshasana. So, last level of compatibility of the moon sign is man or woman's moon in Punarvasu Nakshatra and a man or a woman's moon in the 11th sign from Gemini, which happens to be Aries in Ashwini Nakshatra. Ashwini is also Devgana. So Devgana compatibility is right there. Remember, this is one of the 8 types of compatibility criteria I'm taking here, right? It's not all kinds of things, right? There are other 8 forms which we are not considering for the purposes of this. Why? Because we are considering criteria isolated way only for lasting love. This is the Bhakut principle. So Ashwini Nakshatra, right? And next level would be even Bharani, because Bharani is also the Manushagana, but it's fine. First, we always try to match the best possible combinations, right? Okay, so now let us see what are the intimacy characteristics that Punarvasu brings to the table. Because every nakshatra has its own signature which it views as this is how I feel intimacy, right? Each nakshatra views certain ways. Let's see what Punarvasu brings. So there you have it on the screen, right? Punarvasu's intimacy characteristics for lovers in the bubble over there. Sorry, throat today. Characteristics of intimacy, nurturing and supportive. The Punarvasu Nakshatra prioritizes emotional well-being of their partners and are dedicated to creating a safe space and caring environment. Isn't that wonderful? Every nakshatra has something like this. Nurturing and supportive is their signature. They love to nurture their home environment. They love to nurture the emotional needs of the partner. Next one, they are adaptive and flexible. They can easily adjust to different situations and are willing to accommodate the needs and preferences of their partners. They are very accommodating when it comes to their partners. They're very adaptive. Gemini gives them that signature of adaptability. Gemini is very adaptive air sign. Curiosity and intellect is the third one. They appreciate partners who can engage in meaningful conversations and exchange ideas and explore intellectual pursuits. Once again, we see the Gemini side of intimacy. This is how Gemini feels intimacy. The Mithuna Lagna, as they say. They appreciate partners who can engage in meaningful conversations. If you want deep intellectual conversations, Punarvasu is a nakshatra for you because they will be interested in that. Emotional sensitivity is the fourth one. They have the ability to understand and resonate with their partner's emotions, providing comfort and support when needed. They're emotionally sensitive people. Even though it's an air sign, you've got to understand air has got a higher level of emotional sensitivity than even the earth sign or the fire sign. Only higher than air sign would be water signs. Obviously, they are moksha signs. We shall see that when we come to different nakshatras in different signs. They have a desire for stability. They seek partners who can provide a sense of emotional stability and consistency. Why? Because it's an air sign. It's moving around a lot. They're looking for something concrete, right? This is why they desire stability, emotional stability and grounding. They have strong family values, the fifth one. They appreciate partners who can share similar values and prioritize familial bonds. They like family a lot. My sister is Punarvasu Nakshatra, so I know how strongly she is familial. Family values matter a lot to the Punarvasu Nakshatra. They are not unorthodox in this, they are quite orthodox in this respect. Punarvasu is also the nakshatra of Lord Rama, for example. Very family oriented. He sacrificed everything for his family. They appreciate partners who share similar values. Communication skills. They are able to express their thoughts and emotions effectively, fostering open and honest communication in their relationships. Once again, there is the Gemini side. Gemini is all about communication. Third house is all about communication. Air sign is all about communication. Highest in Gemini. Therefore, even their intimacy, they perceive more in terms of communication aspects. You need to communicate to the Punarvasu. You need to talk to them. You need to let them talk to you. Bonding in terms of communication is important for the Gemini nakshatras. Just in general principle, just remember that. They are intuitive and insightful. They can perceive subtle cues and have a deep understanding of their partner's needs and desires. Very intuitive people. They will know if you are bullshitting around, right? They know they are insightful. They have subtle cues. They can read your body language. They can read your eyes. They can read your mind. They can feel the energies. So it's highly intuitive. So when it comes to intimacy, you need to be transparent with the Punarvasu. That's what matters. Then it will have a more lasting impact. Then it will have a more bonding impact. What are we saying when we are saying intimacy? Seriously, what are we looking at? We are looking at emotional bonding, which has got a principle of lastingness about it. It is lasting through life, not just 1 or 2 or 7 or 10 years. You want a lasting lifetime of emotional bonding. That's the principle we are looking at now in all these series. Okay? We shall do the next one in the next video. Meanwhile, take care, be safe.